Welcome to Play to Win. Adam Epstein here with Bryan Lawrence. What are we doing today, bro?
Today we are trying Wise Guys Pizza down in Southeast DC. This is a place that's been open in Roslyn and by the Capital One Center for a while now. And they recently took over this space down in Navy Yard where Adam works. And I was like, dude, have you tried Wise Guys Pizza?
And I said, I'd never heard of that, dude. So, and you're claiming it's your favorite pizza in the entire country.
Favorite slice of pizza I've ever had. I haven't been up to Chicago to try like deep dish and all that, but in New York, and I got the classic cheese slice because there's no way to tell a pizza other than just trying their classic cheese.
And I got the Supreme. I'm a Supreme guy. I don't have any Supreme clothing, but I love Supreme. And here's my thing though. I don't do a pizza without both of these all over it.
Spread it on there.
Throw it over your shoulder for good luck.
While you take your bite and try it out for the first time, I'm going to give a little background of the story of this place. So this place was opened by a guy named Xavier Cervera, and it's the interactive space that everybody knows about in Navy Yard. It has an ice skating rink. It has like a whole fountain in the summer for kids. Like, it's a very kind of family-friendly spot. And it opened by this guy, Xavier, who opened like 10 places in Eastern Market. He absolutely bombed. All of his restaurants folded. He went bankrupt. So this place is now changed to a new spot, and Wise Guys bought it, and I think they're gonna kill it in this location.
So tell me, is Wise Guys a known thing around DC? Does they have other locations?
Yeah, so Roslyn specifically, I believe, might be their first location, right there on the strip across from the McDonald's that just got renovated. It's kind of funny, I don't want to get off topic here, but I see a guy in off-white Nikes over there, and it's funny because we just did our show at the juice store in Arlington, and now I'm seeing off-white everywhere I go.
That too.
But just to get back on topic, the Roslyn location, I believe, was their first, and it's very well known, very well known. And so what do you think of your Supreme slice?
Let me get to my actual taste test. So if you saw that was about 3 bites, big bites. It's the kind of pizza you fold, I'd say. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're sitting outside, it's a nice day, it's hot out. The pizza's not hot though. We kind of took too long setting up the audio. I think we got rid of the temperature, but I'm not gonna let that mess with my taste test.
Wise Guys is not paying us. So if you want to rip the pizza, you gotta rip the pizza. You know what I mean?
I'm enjoying it, it's not hot.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Maybe it's me, but anything I eat has to be piping hot unless it was meant to be cold, like a cold cut. My fries, sometimes from McDonald's, even all these places, if it's a little cold, I'll throw it in the microwave for 10 seconds. I need to be piping hot. Same with hamburgers, hot dogs, all that stuff, especially chicken wings. But with pizza here, you can't really, I don't like a microwaved pizza. I would throw it in the oven.
Right.
And so you kind of just got to eat it the way it is. I love the Parmesan on it. I went with the Supreme, and toppings are good. Yeah, you said don't judge pizza on toppings, but their toppings are not negative.
So I got the spicy pepperoni Sicilian slice because I kind of like the extra bread. The pepperoni, super spicy, exactly the way I want it.
Because you don't seem to be like...
Well, I love spice. So it's obviously just some red pepper flakes on there. But, it's good. I want you to take a bite. Have you ever had a Sicilian sliced pizza before?
What do you like the square? I've had square. I've been Alitos.
That's so good.
Is Sicilian different though?
Well, Sicilian is obviously. Oh my God, I'm completely butchering this.
No, it's cool. And, so I'm just gonna munch on this.
Yeah, Sicilian is a Italian style thicker breaded pizza that's made in a square in a different type of pan. Huge in New York. This is a New York based restaurant, I believe. So they're pulling their kind of spices. The way they make their tomato sauce, I believe they get water shipped from New Jersey, things like that really kind of improve it.
Finger licking.
I just love that thickness of the bread. Of course, I like like you said, your foldable pizza. But
square is not my favorite type of pizza. It's almost like an open-faced sandwich, I'd say. But I do enjoy this one. The pepperonis are good. Solid, they're thick pepperonis.
Have another.
Of the pepperonis?
Yeah. Because it's not like you're like kind of...
I missed it. Yeah, no, a pepperoni is a difference maker.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
But I don't know what makes me an expert on pizza. besides the extra 15 pounds I have on my body, but this is pretty good. I would actually say your square is better than my Supreme.
Yeah.
I say the way we do it is we go 2 digits. All right, I'm going 7.85 for the Supreme. Nice the way the toppings are not, well, they weren't falling off. And for the square, I'm going to say 8.23. 8.23. Bryan?
Wow. I'm just crushing on my pizza right now.
Yeah, people are just watching us eat.
I mean, we're outside. It's beautiful. The weather's nice. Ladies are out at lunchtime.
There are some ladies out.
But I don't do a rating system, and this is where I'm going to introduce Double Dine. Okay?
Oh.
My rating system is simple. Would I eat here 2 times in one day for 2 separate meals? Okay? And in this situation, I could get garlic knots for 1 meal. I could come back and get a cheese slice for later. It's a no-brainer. It's kind of unfortunate because unless the pizza actually just is downright terrible, then I could probably eat any pizza place in the entire DMV area twice in one day. So it's kind of hard to, narrow it down. My specific slice, the spicy pepperoni Sicilian style, I would eat it 2 times in one day. It's perfect filler. You don't need to buy more than 1 slice. The slice is only $4. It'll give you a whole meal basically in that slice of a pie. So I'd have to say yes, I will double dine in Wise Guys, and I may be guilty of already double dining in Wise Guys.
Hey.
You get a pie, you take it home, you eat it for dinner later.
So, if you were going to a Natscape and you wanted to stop here before, Nats Park's right down the street, are you getting 1 slice and you walking out? Are you getting 2 slices? Are you getting a slice and a garlic knot? What are you going with?
I think you got to go 2 slices. The ballpark food is delicious, but it's a little bit expensive, and I'm not waiting in lines for like 3 innings just to get a burger that I can get anywhere. Yeah, I like Shake Shack, but do I have to wait in an hour and a half line to get a nubby version of Shake Shack? It's not really my style. So I like to show up to Nats Park fed, drunk, and ready to rage. But I would say 2 slices, got to be 2 slices. Not that expensive. These 3 slices here were $13.
Yeah.
Cheap lunch.
Thanks, Bryan.
Yeah, so then we're kind of on a date right now. It's Adam and I. I paid for his meal. I suggested the place. And so that's going to get me into, I want to talk about some other places in this Navy Yard area. Damn, what a waste of a pepperoni.
No, I caught it.
You work down here. I live down here. And so we're both pretty well versed in the area. And one thing that recently opened up that I have to talk about is right on the Anacostia River, they just opened up these 2 new places, Nicoletta and Due South. They're just walk-up shops that are directly on the water. And Due South has a restaurant also in Navy Yard. That's more like sit-down formal. This is like you walk up to a counter, you order your pizza, you take it and you eat it on the grass. You eat it on the grass as like a little picnic. So they are really killing that space. DC has had nothing like that besides Georgetown, and all you have is overpriced, expensive restaurants on the water there. And so now you have a place where you can go grab a margarita pizza, sit there right on the water, go to the Nats game. You can walk that beautiful water walk trail all the way to home plate. And that's just a perfect date spot to go to. It's brand new, it's open. I've already taken my wife there.
And did she enjoy it? Because that's the thing. You don't get date night often. You got a
No.
kid now. You got your
tough.
wife. You gotta take care of her.
I got a babysitter right now to do this with you. So you should feel honored.
Well, I could have babysat.
I'm paying
You
a
coulda paid
babysitter.
me.
I'm paying a
Coulda paid
babysitter
me.
to come make content with AWOD. But no, yeah, it was awesome. And the best part is it's an awesome structure. The bridge is cool. If you've been in Navy Yard, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then there's a huge grass space to kind of take a blanket, relax. And chicks love that.
Right.
Chicks want to lay out under the sun, eat delicious pizza. You bring your own wine. It's a super cheap date spot. Navy Yard with the water is just a very unique spot in DC right now.
So I want to talk about the Ballston Quarter Market. And it's something that I knew was in development for years, and Ballston, we're kind of you're with me where your cheek is filled with tomato sauce right now. That's just it's embarrassing. Get it right up in the camera. But Ballston Quarter Mall, I went there for the first time, and it is the dopest food court. I mean, it reminded me of Springfield Mall back in its heyday. Before, you know, the rapes and the gun charges and the knives. I used to love Springfield Mall for the food court. Boston Quarter Mall had so many different options. I went to Hot Lola's. I got the chicken tenders with fries.
What is Hot Lola's?
It's like I'd say it's like an Asian-styled fried chicken place. Not like a banchan, but a different. I guess maybe the owner kind of gave it his influence. Loved the fries. Here's the thing though, the fried chicken was too hot for me. The first time this has ever happened, and I'm telling you, it's because the spices they used a dry rub.
Right.
I like it saucy. I'm a saucy guy. The dry rub was too spicy for me. It felt like I was just biting into straight pepper flakes, you know? But I love their fries. Not gonna kill them.
So did you finish the chicken?
No. First time that ever happened to me.
You gave it back. You threw it away.
No. Because I bird around everywhere now. It's my favorite thing. I birded home with the food, had a couple bites, finished the fries, put the chicken in my fridge, went back out to Subway.
Oh my God.
My mouth was burning. I needed like bread. So I got a sandwich. So I double dined at 2 different places.
so here's it's kind of funny because I just posted on Instagram about a place called The Block in Annandale, and it's very Asian influenced. Mm-hmm. And something I want to chat about is like this kind of Nashville hot chicken craze is kind of taken over, and specifically in the Asian community, you're seeing like there's this place called Woo Boy in Herndon that's blowing up, a Mama Me's and the Block spot blowing up, and I'm just wondering like, is this a fad? Is this something that's going to die out? You know, I love it. You know, I've been to Roy Boys, for example, another Nashville hot chicken spot that's opening up down here in Navy Yard as well.
That's not an Asian
It's
style.
not Asian,
that's
but
more
it's
of a soul food style.
it's a Nashville. It's all everyone's just trying to do their play on Nashville hot chicken. I've actually been to Natty B's, I believe it's called, in Nashville. And if you think what you had was hot, I mean, this like I had to go to the bathroom immediately. It like went right through me. But amazing, don't get me wrong, just greasy and spicy and just kind of destroys you.
So you're talking about nationalities, right? And all this like different stuff with restaurants, state spots and stuff. And so Don Tito is a spot we've always frequented. We talked about it on the Junkies all the time. It's like, because it's filled with good-looking girls and it's like a college place to go.
Yeah.
I was talking to my mom the other night, right? And talking about Don Tito, and she's like, oh, have you ever been there for a meal? I was like, yeah, I went there for my birthday. It was fantastic. They have great tacos and stuff. My mom was convinced that Don Tito was an Italian restaurant. And that I was like, Mom, have you ever heard of people going drinking and partying at an Italian restaurant at night? All Mexican restaurants turn into like bars and clubs. Like Italian, like, have you ever heard anyone, yo, let's go drink at Uncle Tito's?
I mean, do you think she was confused by Don Taco?
No, she was just confused by Tito. She was thinking Manetti, spaghetti, Titi.
So tell me how the cheese slice is. You really want it. It's not going to be piping hot, obviously.
This is solid.
But the cheese is where you taste a pizza. You know, does it taste like pizza bowlies, or does it taste like they're doing something different?
It tastes basic. It's good, but
yeah.
I mean, this is gonna maybe my pizza like experience isn't as good as yours, but like extreme pizza, their cheese is cheesy that it's falling off. That's my kind of pizza. Maybe that's just me.
Wise Guys is not impressing Adam. But I'm going to give you one more spot that you should take a girl to. And then I kind of want to get into just like a quick synopsis of your Lisa Ann day date, because there is a couple things, at least one thing that you did that day that I want to ask you about, because I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet.
Okay.
But while you're down here in the Eastern Market area, you made me think of this because you brought up the Asian fried chicken. There's a space called Chico. Okay, it has fried chicken, but it also has like kimchi and super original stuff too.
I'm not a fan of kimchi though.
Well, you're a clown. It has like all sorts of original Korean sides. So it's not just like these fried chicken spots that are just French fries and fried chicken. No, you can dive into the culture. It's called Chico. It's on 8th Street. I'm pointing to it. You can drive down there. and get it. They also have one in Nats Park, which is what also made me think of it. So try out Chico. I gave you Chico, Nicoletta, and Due South.
And Bryan's not getting money from this from people. He's just like an older dude trying to help a homie.
DC dates. I've been in DC now for 9 years. I think I'm pretty well versed in the food scene, especially the cheap food scene.
Yeah, he spent 6 years at George Mason.
I did.
Took him 6?
I did.
All right, so you want to get to this Lisa Ann
I want to just kind of, more specifically the paddle boat experience, because we've talked to the guys. I've always wanted to go on, but I just haven't gotten a chance to yet.
Right. So I mean, that was the best part of the entire day. Like, that was the entertainment. Dude, we had a few drinks. We popped a bottle. The boat is fun because the way it works is like it's exercise. You're pedaling. You're legit like riding a bike that's moving this boat, but you don't have to do that the whole time. It's just a quick like, hey, Captain, we're good, and they flick on the engines and.
So how long before you went from pedaling to engine?
10 minutes maybe.
So, yeah. And were you getting sweaty? Like, were you like actually working?
No, you're not pedaling hard.
Right.
I think the less amount of people are on the boat, the harder you're pedaling. But it's a booze cruise. The pedaling aspect of it is for show.
Yeah.
Because when you get with 16 people, as soon as they get a little rowdy, nobody wants to pedal.
Right.
Turn on the engine. You can still sit in your seat. There's plenty of room to stand around, and you just enjoy yourself, have a good time. And so, while on the boat, I had my first White Claw of all time.
Crazy.
My first White Claw, my first experience. I've never had a Truly, but I know all about that. And so I said, summer 2019 is the explosion of the Truly, White Claw, whatever other products there are.
He's an
idiot.
Meet
them. It's the explosion of the sparkling water with spiked alcohol in it. But you don't agree?
No. I mean, this has been a thing now for 2 summers. I think I'm a little bit snobby when it comes to this because I go to the beach a lot, and every single year I want to find that new, refreshing beach drink. So when I'm playing volleyball on the sand, or we're playing touch football, right afterwards, I don't want water. I want a beer. And so it's interesting because this was water combined with alcohol. And people made fun of you on your tweet, oh, you can't get hydrated from alcohol, that dehydrates you. It's like, yeah, we get it, but it's made with water.
But here's the thing, is that we're building a whole segment around one tweet because maybe I'm wrong about I'm being behind. I can accept that. But my point is that it's the talk of the town now, meaning my tweet blew up. I had people saying, 1, you're wrong, it's late. 2, who's going to drink that crap, it's not beer. 3, and people saying, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. I love it." There was so many. It was polarizing.
I gave another suggestion for the 2019 summer beer of the Natter Days.
I've seen that, but I haven't tried it yet.
You got to try it. I actually learned it. I saw it from Chad Dukes for the first time. It doesn't taste like beer in the slightest. It's a Natty Light, so obviously it's light, but it's a strawberry lemonade alcohol drink.
Ooh, I'm out.
Really?
I'm out.
Why?
I'm out. Strawberry lemonade, love it. Without alcohol.
Yeah, but
I don't like it with.
Wait, why not?
So
why not have the
beer
combination?
Taste, or it kind of tastes like a mixed drink?
It tastes like a soda. It has like a I don't think it's for me. Yeah,
the thing about the White Claw that I like is that more tastes like water than a soda.
Right.
You know what I mean? It almost tastes like a Propel with strawberry.
So I was a Truly guy.
And everyone's telling me Truly for the win.
So I went to Nashville, actually where I tried Natty B's, and I was introduced to Truly by guys. It's usually, more of a female beverage.
But that's my biggest thing. It's 2019. Guys are drinking it proudly.
Yeah, so we were crushing it, and it was a joke then. We were making fun of the guy who brought it, right. Clowning on him, who brought these Trulies. By the end of that bachelor party, though, we were all crushing them. And the truth is that many of us have been putting liquor in our soda water and making our own drinks for years. So it's like, why didn't they come up with this sooner?
Well, I'll tell you, it reminded me of like my dad's favorite drink, which is just a gin and tonic.
Right.
It's like a fancy version of that in a can.
With some fruity fake sugar.
Right. Well, yeah, fake sugar because it's low sugar. That's what gets people.
But I don't
going.
really like that aspartame taste, like that diet soda taste.
I don't either, but I can do it.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is, I love how the girls are so all about it.
Yeah.
Like pounding them.
Yeah. I mean, why not? And I think they're only like 4.2% alcohol, so they're not going to like kick you on your ass or anything.
But by the beach, by the water, out in the sun.
Sweating.
It's nice.
You got to refresh yourself. You got to give yourself the nutrition and the hydration you need.
I want to get to your thoughts about you being upset that I'm behind in the curve. Because, like you said, I am a bit of a face of radio in DC. People listen to me when I talk, and I kind of sounded lame saying something 3 years old.
Well, Voice of the Millennials should be up to date, but I would agree that they don't sell Trulies and stuff at bars. At least I haven't seen them. So you're a guy that's always out in bars, nightlife, not really drinking at the beach or on a river or at a paddle boat. If you're doing more things like that, you would have been introduced. It's just sometimes your demeanor. You're like, oh, guys, has anyone heard of White Claw? It's like, yeah, dog, everyone's heard of White Claw.
It was more of a, the White Claw explosion. But I get what you're saying. I've been drinking Jameson and Jack and Coke all day at Pamplona.
I just think I just wanted to pile on. I actually think your point is accurate in the sense that it's more of a household name now. Mm-hmm. It's not just
Guy says I'm accurate. I like that.
But
you know who also is accurate?
I did laugh at all the people clowning you, for sure.
I'm hearing that Dwayne Haskins has been really accurate. We've seen just a little bit of rookie minicamp right now. Reuben Foster went down. That sucked. But since then, we've seen some highlights of Haskins, seen some stuff of Geis looking good. Yeah. And so it brings us to our Redskins topic. We are DC sports here. That's in our blood. And so the point is, which position are you most confident in, and which position are you most worried about headed into the training camp and the regular season for the Redskins? I don't want to talk record here. Just talk about confidence and worriness.
So there's been a lot of chatter in the last couple days, and it's usually by big sexy Chris Russell himself, about Josh Norman. Apparently he's not, doesn't love being here. Obviously he loves that $15 million paycheck, so you're not going to really hear him say too much negative. But it's just that cornerback position. It's just a big if for me right now. Norman, hasn't turned the ball over like he can.
Hasn't created the turnovers.
And he also, he hasn't created the turnovers that we needed. And then you look at Dunbar, who had a weird injury all of last year, showed flashes. You got some young guys to squeeze in. Moreau, what did he prove? Wasn't really a slot corner, if you ask me. So that's probably the position that I'm most scared about.
So Jimmy Moreland had 3 picks in practice the other day. Everyone's talking about it. I read the article said the third one was actually in the end zone, returned it the 100 yards, length of the field, and the entire defense is running behind him screaming. I love that kind of camaraderie when I hear about that with my skins.
Plus a Virginia guy from JMU, where we've partied probably both of us plenty of times.
Yeah.
And it's just you gotta and appreciate the local guys that we go after. I think it builds the camaraderie on the team.
So I'm not as worried about cornerback because of that kind of stuff. And so my worry position is middle linebacker. I'm not a fan of Mason Foster. He's slow. He's good against the run, but put him against a tight end or a running back, and he's our weakness. Reuben Foster goes down. You were hyping up the guy Cole, right, the rookie, from, I believe UNC or something. I mean, I'm worried about middle linebacker. Our D-line's going to be stacked.
Well, it's tough to worry. It's tough when you let a linebacker and Brown go, which was weird because if you look at all the PFF ratings of him, he rates really high. He's at least a top 10 linebacker in every single stat. And we let him go, and he again only signs another 1-year deal. So there's something with him, that teams aren't completely confident in him. But you let him go thinking that you have, the Foster and Foster combo. One goes down, and now you're relying on a guy who has legitimately told the fan base that he's going to get Cousins to beat their ass and weird shit like that. Mason Foster is a weird Twitter follower.
He's a weird Twitter follower.
Yeah, and so so I've kind of lost
it started with, didn't he say in a DM he said "fuck you Redskins Nation"?
Yeah. So it's interesting. So it's kind of hard to root for him. At the end of the day, this is entertainment, and I want to like the guy that I'm rooting for. So I'm ready for Mason Foster to go. Deshaun Hamilton, is that his name?
Sean Dion Hamilton.
Sean Dion Hamilton was said to already be slotted in that starting spot to make Reuben earn it. So we've got to see what he's got. An Alabama guy that was hurt a lot in college. So the young guy, and then a guy we drafted this year. You want sometimes linebackers come from nowhere.
You're right.
They're especially when you have.
Compton kind of did, right?
If you're sizing the D line and you're not too concerned about the corners, and we added a safety and probably still high on Mickelson, then the linebackers all they got to do is clean up. get up the field and clean up.
They're going to have to make plays. They're going to have to make plays. If you don't want the safety making plays on the running game because that means he already got 8 yards. But let's get to my confidence. I don't think I've ever been more confident in a Washington Redskins running game. We've got 3 guys right now. We've got Geis, we've got Peterson, we've got Thompson. 3 guys that I think at the top of their game could be Pro Bowlers. This guy hates Chris Thompson, thinks he's average. But here's the thing.
I don't hate him.
No, you don't like him as a person.
I don't need him on our team anymore. Okay? I mean, what does he do for us? How does he contribute?
Okay, here's how he contributes. He scares the defense because he's a scat back. On 3rd down, you have a scat back like that. That means they have to focus in on him, leaving the tight end slot a little bit open, leaving the slot receiver maybe unguarded. Won't be facing a double team because you're going to have to every man on deck to guard the running back out of the backfield. And then Adrian Peterson coming back for the Skins here. I'm not expecting him to have as good of a season. He's going to be sharing time. Remember, guys, he had a 98-yard touchdown against the Eagles. Don't expect that again, but maybe a 60-yard touchdown against them this year to start the season. And then Darius Geis, we're hearing, Vernon Davis was on the Junks today, says Geis is already back to the form he was when the Redskins drafted him. He's got the speed, he's got the quickness. I'm excited, and I am confident.
Yeah, there's no real debate from me on this one. It's not even just that, but then we drafted Bryce Love. So we now have...
We have a replacement for Thompson.
Right, and not even just Thompson. Like, he's an every down back. Coming out of college, last year he played with injuries, still produced. The year before that, he had like 2,000 yards and was like the best back in the nation. Yeah. He followed in McCaffrey's footsteps at Stanford, so he knows that kind of NFL pedigree that he's got to compete with. And I just find it super interesting that we feel like that we feel like
we're good guys. We give away cheese.
that we feel confident enough in our depth to go out and draft a running back. Like, you didn't add a middle linebacker. You didn't add a cornerback. You had the confidence in the roster to take a risk on another injury player, which we've done so many times at this point in the draft.
Was like risk, high reward kind of thing. Like you said, I mean, wow, the potential of Bryce Love when he comes back fully healthy. It might be one of those things where next year Thompson's gone without a blink of an eye, AP's gone without a blink of an eye because Bryce Love and Geis have really shown themselves.
Yep. So, finishing my bite here.
Yeah, recap.
Well, I want to give you my spot. And my position of no concern.
I thought your position of confidence was the running back. You agreed with me.
I did, but I want to give you another one.
Sure.
Okay, because the interior D-line is so formidable. It's probably better than any D-line we've seen as Redskins fans in our time. It kind of, mirrors some of the early days of Redskins success in the 80s and 90s when we just had dogs on the line.
It reminds me of the Denver defense when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, and they're all drafted. They're all homegrown, and they're getting paid. We just paid Ioannidis. Like, people complained about the Redskins not building an offensive line and defensive line through the draft for years. Yeah. And now we've done just that, both in the first round through the 3rd round. They've hit on guys like Moses. They hit on guys like Ioannidis. And then they jumped up in the first round and added a Sweat to take advantage of that interior pressure and have a guy running off the edge.
You're right.
I'm just super excited for the D-line. And not just that, but Kerrigan's a consistent 10 to 12 sacks. And then you add a speed guy that we haven't had since Gillette, who obviously was hurt and never really full potential.
Well, I think Sweat's going to be like what we hoped Arakpo would be on the other side there. Right. And I mean, here's the thing: is Preston Smith was good, but not great, not like elite, not Lex Love.
Not a guy we're paying $30 million guaranteed for, or whatever you got.
Right.
So yeah, I think running back and defensive line is the no-brainer. Our spots of concern: cornerbacks, and yours was middle linebacker. We're at Wise Guys Pizza, enjoying a meal, date, double dine. Adi here twice in one day. I think Adam agrees, although he didn't necessarily love it. And you can eat pizza. You can have a breakfast pizza. You can have a quick slice for lunch, and you can crush a pie for dinner. So it's kind of wrong for us to do a double dine at a pizza place, but I love it here. And my Sicilian sliced pizza was delicious.
Yeah. And so I think we want to recap and kind of end this with one last sports thing right now. The NBA Finals is going on. I didn't get to stay up for the game last night, but I was surprised. I stayed up till halftime. I was surprised to wake up and see the Raptors not only won, but a 10-point win, and like a win where they were confident, they played well. My biggest takeaway was the atmosphere was amazing.
It was completely convincing. in the sense that they didn't really ever lose the lead. Anytime Golden State would cut into the deficit, Raptors just kind of did it, and they did it without Kawhi Leonard and
Siakam was amazing.
Yeah, so Kawhi had, I think he had, ended up with his 20 plus, but Lowry had 4 points. I think he finished the game with, so maybe more than that. But I think for a long portion of the game, he was not scoring. Yeah. He was now. Lowry was in there taking charges
Siakam,
and getting assists.
What Pascal Siakam did, they're saying, is up there with top 5 first NBA Finals appearances in history.
Well, I think he shot 14 of 17 from the field.
Plus 30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. They were comparing him to like Kevin Durant's first Finals game, better than LeBron's first NBA Finals game.
Well, they kept rotating different players on him. So it was clear that once Golden State knew what the game plan was of feed this guy the rock because nobody had the length to guard him, he just kind of ate. And Andre Iguodala has been playing with the injury. He actually re-injured it on a layup last night late in the fourth quarter, and he was just too slow. He couldn't keep up, and the Raptors just ran the floor. Now, Lowry, like I said, didn't score a lot of points, but he was rebounding. Off his rebound, he had an outlet pass all the way to Siakam. One time was like a touchdown throw. So I just think the Raptors, second and third line guys really came to play last night.
See, my biggest thing was the first quarter started out both teams jacking up threes. I noticed Toronto starting to pump fake, take a dribble in, and really settle for those long twos that you're comfortable with because the defense isn't running up on you. I saw Van Fleet did that a couple times. I saw Siakam, and I saw my guy Kawhi Leonard do it. And so I do think maybe that's a reason that they took advantage in Game 1. Not just chucking up threes, chuck them up, but taking good shots.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm interested to see what goes on through the rest of this series. Did this give you confidence? Do you now believe in the Raptors? I
believe in Drake.
Yeah.
I believe in Drake, and I love what he's doing. He covered up a tattoo. He has a tattoo that says 30 is a sniper and 35 is a sniper for Curry and Durant because they hang out in the offseason. He covered it up with an armband. He went all in Draymond Green's face. Drake is holding it down for the North. He's the king of the North.
Yeah.
It's not Jon Snow. It's not Bran the Builder, Bran the Broken.
It is pretty crazy. There's this documentary out on just Drake's influence in Toronto, and he's by far the biggest celeb.
Since Vince Carter.
It's not even close at this point.
Or maybe Bieber, but not really.
But
he reps it the most.
He's like an ambassador for Toronto
and we
at
rep
this point.
Play to win.
Yeah. Pamplona, make sure you stop by there this weekend. Chuck Lee is always looking out for us.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.